The life of every creature, they say, is in its blood. Every part requiring its continuous flow to be viable. But that flow is only possible with a functional heart, the lifebox of the body. The heart is one of the most sensitive organs of the body and needs to be well taken care of. On this episode of Health Options, we will be examining the heart as a vital organ, and we will be providing you with tips on how to guard against common cardiovascular diseases like hypertension, stroke, and heart attack. Welcome to another episode of Health Options, where we help you make informed decisions about your health. Of course, you know that Health Options cannot be complete without your favorite segment, Nature's Corner. I am Salwa Khalil Ibrahim. Thanks for joining us. These days we hear of sudden death. People slump and die, and some just die in their sleep. I'm sure you must have seen or heard of one or two. Well, autopsy many times reveal that these unexplainable deaths are due to heart attack. The World Health Organization, WHO, says 95% of deaths associated with cardiovascular or heart diseases are due to heart attack and stroke. Dark and scary as it may appear, the silver lining is that most cardiovascular diseases are preventable. We have a specialist in the house who will be educating us on how well to treat our hearts. But that will be when we return from this break. I have with me a consultant interventional cardiologist and FCT coordinator, Nigerian Hypertension Society, Dr. Ngabia Murtala. Many thanks for joining us, Doctor.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon.
Yeah. So let's begin now. Give us a background. What the heart? How sensitive is the heart?
Yeah, thank you, Salwa. You've said it initially in your introduction. The heart is about the most vital organ of the body. The heart is continuously pumping, whether one is asleep or awake, because the functions of the heart are so vital that it cannot afford, most organs of the body cannot afford to stay without being supplied with blood for up to 3 minutes. So that's why inherent in the heart is its own ability to continuously pump blood to all other parts of the body, especially the brain, the kidneys, to the heart itself, and to all other organs of the body. Now, like I told you earlier on, the heart is always pumping blood at about, within a minute, it pumps about 5 liters of blood within a minute. That is about 300 liters of blood within an hour. And then in 24 hours, we're talking about 700 and plus liters of blood. That is within a day, to nourish the body. The blood that goes to all parts of the body, all the vital organs, contains what? Oxygen and the needed nutrients that nourish all other parts of the body.
Okay. Now, what about a high blood pressure now and stroke? Are they interrelated, or how does it come in?
Very well interrelated. Okay. The high blood pressure, diabetes, smoking, high cholesterol, sedentary lifestyle are what we refer to as what risk factors. You know, there are predisposing conditions that when they are present, you know that the chances of somebody getting a heart attack or a stroke is very high. They are the ones that contribute in the narrowing of the blood vessels, thereby predisposing to heart attack and stroke. Basically, the predisposition or the pathway that leads to these conditions are the same. Cessation of blood as a result of what? Narrowing of the blood supply to those vital organs, that's the brain and the heart. So hypertension, that's high blood pressure, when it is present and it is not controlled, it now leads to what? Progressive damage to the blood vessels, progressive damage to the heart, progressive damage to the brain, in such a way that the heart itself, first of all, will not be able to what? Pump effectively. Two, the blood vessels become progressively narrowing. It's actually a combination of these factors, okay? Presence of high cholesterol, blood pressure, high blood pressure, hypertension, you know, and all the associated factors that now eventually leads to these conditions, okay? Lead to heart attack and stroke. And of course, sometimes even kidney failure.
Oh, wow.
And then what we call heart failure.
Okay.
Heart failure occurs when the heart progressively becomes weak and cannot pump blood to other parts of the body. While heart attack is when there is a sudden blockage, damage to a portion of the heart, and that portion of the heart becomes what? Dead or weak, that it cannot function.
Okay. Now, I want us to talk further on the causes of heart attack, hypertension, and stroke now, doctor. In Nigeria especially, I know a lot of people around me who are suffering from hypertension. Why we see more of this in Nigeria?
Interesting question. Interesting question. Before now, you know, studies, when we try to analyze the Nigerian population in the 60s and the 70s, you know, you discover that then the prevalence of these conditions are relatively low. So this is an apt question, but currently what we are having, or what we have researched and found out is that about 30% of all adult population in Nigeria have what? High blood pressure.
Wow.
If you agree with me that that's a huge number, running to what? Millions. If we have an average of 150 million adult population in Nigeria, we're talking about 30, 40, 50 million people living with what? High blood pressure. That's a huge number. Right. Okay. And it will also be worrisome to know further that a large majority of people that have high blood pressure are not even aware that they have.
Wow.
Okay? Only about 1/3, about 30 to 40% of people that have high blood pressure are aware. And even among those that are aware, only a certain percentage, again, that have it what? Under control. So you can see how huge the problem is. What are the predisposing factors? We believe, or we've established, that sedentary lifestyle, for example, adoption of Western diets, okay, McDonald's, Mr. Biggs, they are running away from the Western world. They are concentrating in Nigeria and the developing world.
We all sometimes indulge.
Yeah, people go, they have high salt content diets. People smoke, even though incidence of smoking is reducing, but it's still there. You know, people basically don't exercise. People don't eat the right foods, and a lot of adulteration of our fruit, which are supposed to prevent us from having hypertension, is ongoing. People don't trek, you know, moving from car, A-seat car to the house, A-seat, staying in one place. Okay, it's been said that sitting down, that's what sedentary lifestyle is the new smoking. So
Wow.
it's taking over the risks of what? Smoking. Then, of course, we should not forget our family history. Yes, very, very important. In fact, it should be about number one, okay, family history. If somebody's close relative, mother, father, siblings have high blood pressure, he should know that what his own chances of developing it have what increased significantly, okay? So, and then age of onset. Initially, of course, people with family history, you start anticipating in the late 30s, 40s, and early 40s. But now we discover that even the age of onset has reduced significantly. So early 30s, people have what? Developed what? Hypertension already. We have two types of hypertension, the essential hypertension, which is family related, and then secondary hypertension, which there's a specific cause that you can identify and treat it, and the hypertension will go away.
Okay, doctor.
Yes.
I'll cut you there now. We'll take a break now. When we return, we'll find out how we can avoid this ailment. Join us again.
TerraCube is available in beef, chicken, jollof and shrimp flavors at attractive prices of 50, 100, 200 and 500 naira.
TerraCube. Unwrap joy. Unleash taste.
Imagine lovely meals you can cook with these ingredients. You spend heavily, but no guarantee of a tasty meal. Not making a right choice of seasoning cube can ruin your meal, money, and confidence. For a tasty meal, do not compromise. Choose Gold.
Use Terra Gold for the rich, consistent taste your loved ones crave for. Good for soups, stews, and jollof. Terra Gold. One cube, endless possibilities.
If you just joined us, we've been speaking about care for the heart with Dr. Ngabeya Murtala. Many thanks for being there, doctor.
My pleasure.
Okay, so now how can what are those advice you can give as a specialist on how to guide against cardiovascular related diseases, especially hypertension, you know, and stroke?
Prevention. Prevention, it's at different levels, okay? That's what we call primary prevention, that's what we call the secondary prevention, and then we also call tertiary prevention. First of all, one has to know, right? One has to know that, yes, he has what? High blood pressure, you know, before he can take care of it. So regular monitoring, especially if there is family history. Anytime one has the opportunity of setting his feet into a health facility, he should not hesitate. She should not hesitate to get his blood pressure checked. Should not wait until he feels anything. But of course, like I said, hypertension is what? A silent killer. It does not give any sign until it has caused damage to the body. So regular checkup, measurements, and measurement. Tell your friends to always check their blood pressure. For everybody that has become an adult, in fact, it's not too early to start checking. At 20s, in the 30s, people should check their blood pressure to know exactly what are their numbers. Know your numbers, and then of course taking lifestyle adjustments, lifestyle moderation, avoiding smoking, avoiding alcohol, regular exercise for those that have family history especially, and even those that don't have family history. Regular exercise, fast walk, skipping, swimming, 30 minutes if possible every day. If not every day, if not possible every day, at least 3 times a week. Okay? Chief executives should try to reduce their stress level by going on vacation, utilizing their weekend effectively, avoiding sedentary lifestyle. Watching someone's weight is also very important. Okay? Avoiding overweight, and then eating the right food. a traditional African diet with plenty of what? Vegetables, fruits are important. Unfortunately, they are becoming costlier and costlier every day. But if you still go down to the villages, I'm sure you will get affordable food. So these are what measures that we strongly advocate that what people should undertake to now avoid complications that what are associated with high blood pressure, which you said earlier on: stroke, heart attack, heart failure, kidney failure, and all the complications that are associated with cardiovascular diseases.
Okay, I would like to ask now, do people recover from heart attack and stroke?
Yes. If it is what, if one is taken to what the hospital on time, because everything is what time bound. That is why it is said, time is what? Muscle. Muscle, that's the heart muscle, need to be salvaged as soon as possible. If one can reach the hospital with onset of what the condition within 30 minutes, 1 hour, maximum 3 hours. That means that people what should be aware of the signs. People should know that. Unfortunately, in this part of the world, that's one of the biggest challenge we have. Time to reaching the hospital.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we're advocating. Government is taking up the challenge. The emergency services are coming up within the Federal Ministry of Health. So people should reach the hospital as soon as possible, so that the conditions can what be salvaged. You know, that's why that's where we come in. Okay, if there's a blockage, interventional cardiologists will what unblock if the patient reaches them on time. But even if they are not interventional cardiologists, other health workers, other doctors have, you know, first aid measures. They have drugs that they can use, you know, that can, you know, reduce the damage, you know, that will be caused by heart attack and stroke. Then secondary prevention, okay, rehabilitation, for example, adequate rehabilitation, okay, good support care will also what reduce the disability that comes with this condition. And then, of course, if these measures are instituted on time, of course, recovery will come within a short period of time. Then, of course, the associated factors. The younger the person is, the chance of his recovery is better. Okay? So, and then, of course, the number of predisposing conditions. If somebody is only hypertensive and is not diabetic, or, you know, no smoking, or maybe only diabetes, no hypertension. So these are what, you know, these are what the conditions that influence the outcome of, you know, if somebody has heart attack. But of course, yes, recovery is very much possible.
Okay, you go by this and be sure to have a healthy heart and live longer, right, doctor?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you very much for that insight on how to care for our heart.
My pleasure.
If you just joined us, we've been speaking with Dr. Ngabia Murtala on care for our hearts. Now, on Nature's Corner today, we are considering a common cooking ingredient. Its aroma and taste in our food is exceptional. But how much do you know about the medicinal value of garlic? Details in a bit.
In a world hungry for goodness, with a splash of golden terra oil, a mom can transform a frown into a smile. Make a lunch hour a happy hour. Change no thanks into yes please. Provide care when our nearest and dearest needs it most. And resolve family feuds without blowing a whistle. providing tasty, nourishing family meals is all that matters. The world needs moms because where there are moms, there is hope, happiness, and love. Golden Terra Oil, for pure love.
Today we are going to talk about garlic. Garlic is also named as Allium cephas scientifically. And this is a plant which I think I don't need to, everybody knows garlic. It's a global plant. This is how it usually occurs as a bulb. And as simple as it looks, this is a potent food and a potent medicine. And I'm very, very sure different people have different experiences of garlic. In Nigeria, in other countries, different cultures have different recipes and experiences about garlic. Because garlic is something that is globally found. Usually grows in marsh areas, but is something that is a very, very hot plant. As I have said, this is a potent food and also a potent medicine because garlic has antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal property. And with this, you will understand that since it has these three properties, you can understand its various applications. When we are talking about antibacterial property, you can see it's used in common cold that is viral. You can see it's used in the management of skin ailments. Many skin ailments are managed effectively with garlic. The most common thing that people know garlic on is used in common cold. Yes, definitely. Because all aspects of the plant are used. That means the whole garlic is used, its powder is used, its oil is used, its bark. This bark that we are taking, this bark when you remove it, it also has other properties. All parts of the plants are very, very useful, potent, nutritive, and medicinal activity. And it has chemical substances that portray to these properties that I have mentioned. That is antiviral property, yes. And it's used in common cold. It also has a lot of use in respiratory tract infections, sinusitis, bronchitis, asthma. Yes, usually when you give birth to small children, babies, usually they come with common cold and blocked nose. Most of the time, the application of small oil of garlic to their nose open their respiratory tract. So it is a plant that is utilized not only in cold, but also in food. It thickens the blood. So it's not advisable to be used in people that are always having, nosebleeds. It thickens. That is why it is also used for people that are hypertensive. It's very, very good for hypertensive patients. Yes, but it's also contraindicated in patients that have ulceration, that is ulcer, and people that have usually are prone to bleeding, nose bleeding. Yes, and people also that have anemia. Yes, that people that easily you will see that they have weak blood system constitution. So garlic, as I have said, and it can be used as food. It has very good vitamins, minerals that are very, very important and nutritive to the body.
So now you know that there is much more to every clove of garlic. And that bit from the Nature's Corner concludes this week's episode of Health Options. Check out our YouTube channel for these and previous episodes of the program at www.nta.gov.ng, where you can also send us your comments, questions, and suggestions. Thank you for always keeping a day with us. I am Salwa Kalal Ibrahim. Bye for now.